Good afternoon. Much to my chagrin, I realized that I did not at all record sound with my video yesterday, and so it is a good minute of me talking and you can't hear anything. So today I have made double sure that you can hear me introduce the following quests. I think I have quest 1, quest 2, quest 5, and then a raft assignment. I'm going to be adding some images to that raft assignment so you can see something while I'm talking if you want to listen to it again. And then the outro should be okay. Anyway, thank you for your time. Oh, I'm going to check if the outro is okay. If the outro is not okay, I'll be re-recording that. So, yes, this one has video and sound. Great. My first quest that I started was working with HTML, and I had to create a bio and then an index and build from there. It gave me a lot of background about what goes into writing HTML code and JavaScript. It was really fun. It was really hard at times, but one of those things you walk away from and go, cool, I know how to do that. And I did not know how to do that before. One of my favorite parts of this was creating a style sheet that you could then copy to each page. So I decided to include that as well. The next part that I have for display is Quest 5.1 and on. These have pictures that have to do with line, shape, and form. And so I really like photography. I'm okay at it, but not, overwhelmingly wonderful. So I thought this was a fun quest to kind of reiterate the things that I knew about photography, the things that I didn't. And so these first 3 images all have to do with line, the idea that there's a line extending from the photograph into the horizon. I really enjoy these types of photos where it's a road or a path kind of disappearing into something. It's one of those things I go out of my way to take. As far as shape, this one with the sailboat was really neat. I like to do that, taking pictures of my kids, silhouetted against a sun at the end of the day. I think those are really fun where their shape looks dark and everything behind them is highlighted. So it's neat to see pictures like this plain as well. I also like when nature creates a shape. And so here you have 2 swans, but you also have a little heart going on. I think those are fun to find. This next one is form. And it's just neat to me, the idea that you could take a picture that shows the images, that what's being selected is 3D. So here with the feathers of the flamingo, the rose petals, even this next one with the stairs, you can tell that this isn't just a flat surface, that there's dimension to it. And that brings to a close my narration of Quest 5.1. Next up will be the OJJDP grant overview. Good morning, honorable judges, attorneys, and other members of the student court program that is a partner with Natrona County School District. I decided to put together a podcast today to walk us through the potential grant application that we are going to submit to the OJJDP Juvenile Drug Treatment Court Program for next year. As a reminder, we're all kind of self-sequestering right now and self-quarantine. So if you are with somebody, you can make that awkward eye contact in the room. But we are currently not meeting, and that's why I thought it'd be nice to throw together this simple audio clip that we can all get around and at least ask questions through email once you listen to it. And I'll attach the overview that I'm going to go and read from right now so you all have a good idea, those of you visual learners. Anyway, to get right into it, we, for those of you who don't know, are not a drug treatment program, but there is interest in moving student court into a drug treatment program and then getting the funding from the federal government. The grant we're going to apply for is a $500,000 startup grant that, again, would convert what we're doing right now into a drug treatment program. So to go off of what our goal is, we are an intensive judicial supervision of youth with the goal of reducing recidivism and substance abuse. Expectations of the program, you all should be familiar with, but these are the expectations for the grant, is that we would develop and implement a sustainability plan during the grant period to continue operation of the Juvenile Drug Treatment Court. The big thing here is that we will not accept violent offenders, and we don't do that right now with student court, but that is a proviso of the grant. The second expectation is judicial supervision over juveniles with substance abuse problems, which we do. The third is that we coordinate with state and local prosecutors. So we would need letters from both the participating judge and the district attorney in order to proceed with the grant. The services as described that with the grant is we would have to have mandatory periodic testing for use of controlled substances, which we do. We have a substance abuse treatment, which we're right now outsourcing through Central Wyoming Counseling Center, and we would probably need to make that more robust. The third service would be diversion, probation, supervised release involving the possibility of prosecution, confinement, or incarceration of non-compliance or failure to show growth. So we're doing that right now. Fourth is offender management and aftercare services such as relapse prevention, healthcare, education, vocational training, job placement, housing placement, and child care. And we don't do the child care part, but that's part of Natrona County School District. So again, our partnership there would fulfill that grant requirement. The fifth is payment in whole or part for treatment of costs. So we would need to talk a little bit about what we would charge and the process for exempting students from payment. And then again, this goes into the next one, payment in whole or part by the offender for restitution to victim or similar victim fund. Part of the program is you cannot deny a student access to the program because they can't pay. So we would, again, need a very good process that's been defined so we can make sure that that's good, that's clear to everybody involved. The next expectation is that we have a graduated punitive therapeutic measures, which we do. Another expectation is we would have to explain why we're looking for the grant money from the feds. And again, those of you involved with it right now know that we are good where we're at. We're all volunteering our time and we all chip in every now and again to get people rewards when they're doing well. But I think this would help make the program more robust, like I mentioned earlier, as well as maybe make the rewards better and our therapeutic measures better. And the last one is identify related initiatives that complement or will be coordinated with the proposal. So again, our partnerships with various community partners like Youth Crisis Center, Mercer House, Natrona County School District, the court system, we're all in it together. So the application has to include a letter from one of you honorable judges, an equally awesome prosecutor, a defense attorney, which we do not have. That would be interesting. And so I would rely on the attorneys to weigh in on what that looks like. A treatment provider, which our partnerships right there, I think we're good. A drug court coordinator, which the school district could probably own because we have enough people involved in it. We would just have to change some job duties. Law enforcement, and then a community supervision rep. That last one, I'm not quite sure what the representative would look like. Anyway, application must include a plan to hire a coordinator. So there's that. A certification that all treatment programs and providers are licensed, certified, or accredited, which I would hope so. And at the conclusion of the grant, which is 12 months, a strategic plan for implementation that includes a timeline. So again, that's something we could all work through. Priority areas for the grant will address specific challenges in rural and underserved communities. So again, I think we would qualify for maybe rural and underserved since we are not currently a current participant in the grant program. Another priority area is encouraging program investments in economically distressed communities. That's not us. Maybe under COVID though. And then the third priority area is state and localities that have concentrations of opioid-related cases. I haven't looked at the data. I know that we have a very high meth usage in town, but I don't know about opioid abuse. The cost-sharing part of the grant is a 25% match. There are two kinds. One is a hard, where it's just cash. It's a hard match. The other, which I think we're already meeting, is a soft third-party in-kind match. This would be the services, supplies, real property, equipment. So again, those of us that volunteer around the table, I think if we sat down and kind of listed out what our hourly rate is, we would easily match that 25%. So anyway, again, that was a quick overview. I will attach both the grant and my breakdown of the grant. We do have to apply. I think I read May now. So this will just give people lots of time to kind of sit around and look at it, and then we will go from there. Thank you all for your time and energy, and email me with questions. So apparently I did not have sound in my outro, which I am now recording for you, and I have this decibel monitor that tells me when I'm talking really loud. Audacity lets you compress it, which I appreciated you tell me about that, because it makes me, I have moments that I talk a lot, and then I have moments that I talk like this. So this is a nice indicator to not yell at you. Thank you for the opportunity to resubmit this assignment. And look, it has sound. Have a good one.